Greetings, students. I'm Professor Cocozella. Most of my students end up calling me Professor Coco, and I am going to be your instructor for this English 101 course. I always do a welcome video to orient you to the class and more specifically to get you comfortable with the Blackboard course site and the menu items on it, how to access them and what they all stand for. As this is our learning management system and I use it frequently for pretty much everything. So knowing your way around Blackboard is really very imperative. As you'll see from the screen, you're not seeing the right-hand side of the course site, but that's because I wanted to make sure that you get a full view of the left-hand side, as in those that black and white menu item list. And we're going to be going through all of those menu items, and I'm going to explain to you what each one of them pertains to, contains, etc. Please come to the first class with questions. I'm sure that I can't answer everything in this short 15 minutes. So if you are stuck or you come to a particular concept or icon, don't know how to do this, forgot how to do that, please feel free to ask me in class and I'll be referring to, and we'll be getting into this site pretty much on a daily basis. So here goes. You are right now at the home page, so quite obviously this is just a welcome banner telling you really standard things. Please note, ladies and gentlemen, I am doing this video for the 24785 class on their course site, but it will pertain to my other class as well. You guys in 22800, it's the same information. All right. So let's see, we've got ourselves the home page, and that's where we're at right now. This is really very important. This is course contents, and this is just basically where the guts of the course are located. What you have within course contents are two things. You have learning modules, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the housekeeping module. And then at the bottom, you have certain folders that just have to do with complementary, supplemental material, that sort of thing. But in terms of the assignments that you'll be working on throughout the course of the semester, they're basically broken up into 5 different units. So the learning modules do start with what I call the housekeeping module. And in here, that's where you're going to find the standard stuff that I told you to do prior to getting to class, right? You all got an email announcement that here's what you should do before the first day of class. And these contain, rather, this learning module contains the ABCDE documents, right? The syllabus for the course outline, the grade record sheet, and the personal contact form. So the documents A through D, you don't necessarily have to print them out. I do want you to read through them. I'll have hard copies of them the first day of class. But E, you really do have to download E, which is your personal contact form. You need to complete that. Reminder, different color font, and then you have to upload it. And this is another trick that you're going to learn once you get familiar with Blackboard. And that is that some of the things, some of the submissions are going to be done as upload files. And basically that means you're just going to save your paper, your essay, as a Word document, and then you're going to upload it into one of these types of files. Okay, and I'll give you more information on that. But this is your first test of whether or not you can do that. The personal contact form needs to be uploaded right here. And you'll note that the table of contents lists it very specifically. Hey, here it is. Here's the last item in this learning module. It's the upload for whatever it is. In this case, the personal contact form. Okay, so then we get out of that. Whoops, this is back to me. Excuse me for that. So we've got our home page and we've got our course contents, and clearly what we just discussed was the first learning module, which I call housekeeping. And then we get into the real contents of the course, with Unit 1 being identity and cognition. Unit 2 is what I call book club. Unit 3, I title community. Unit 4 is civics. And then we sort of wrap things up with Unit 5, and that's basically reflection. And then, as I mentioned before, you have certain folders below that just contain auxiliary supplemental material, videos, PowerPoints, worksheets, handouts, that kind of thing. So let me just open up Unit 1 because this is the one that really is already completed. In other words, I have most of the documentation in here. As you'll notice in the other units, if you click on them, there might not necessarily be that many documents. That's because I'm still in the process of loading them. But they all work the same. You have a learning module, you have a unit name, you have the assignments listed on the front page so that you know what you're getting into within each unit. I only specify the weeks of a unit. I used to do it by days, but I find that things change so often. It's better just to say that Unit 1 will comprise the first 3 weeks of the class. So if we get into it, you will be able to see the corresponding documents. Okay, you have Unit 1 is a discussion board post. Unit 1-2 is an identity essay. Unit 1-3 and 1-4 are a narrative essay that you're going to be doing. 1-5 and 1-6 has to do with the last 2 assignments for the unit, and that's a TED Talk and a summary of it. So you'll notice that the documents correspond to certain specific assignments. Sometimes a unit will just have one packet, quote unquote, and all the instructions for all the assignments will be within that one packet. Other units, I spread them out. This one, as the first unit of the semester, I like to give you really specific instructions. So each particular assignment has its own packet, if you will. Okay, so that's how it's done. Sometimes the units contain videos that I'll ask you to watch or that we'll watch in class. And that's about the size of it. Okay, so that's what course contents is all about. That is where you're going to find all these units. And of course, all you need to do to get in the unit is just click on the title page, right? The black underlined title. So next thing up is announcements. And this is very important for you guys to understand. I send out announcements every week, and usually, to tell you the truth, almost after every class. Announcements always supersede anything that you see in the syllabus, the week by week syllabus, because things change so often. I mentioned it before, I'm going to mention it again. Dates change. I might push a due date because we're really involved with something. We might have a class cancel for one reason or another, and that pushes agenda items. So the way around that and the way to get you the most up-to-date information on due dates and agenda items and such is to send you an announcement. So what I do is I post it here. You can always go in here, and it is also emailed to you as well. After all, that's how you got this welcome email. It goes by default to your Montgomery College email. If you would rather have it forwarded to an email you use more often, maybe your Gmail account is really the only one you look at, that's fine. Just talk to IT and they'll tell you how to transfer these particular announcements or any Montgomery College announcement into your own email. The very imperative thing that I want you guys to understand is actually the next thing on the one down from here on the course menu. I like to do all my emailing through the Blackboard site. Okay, we all have a standard Montgomery College email account, but we also have access to email through this Blackboard site. And this is the way I want you to communicate with me. So don't just jump on my MC and send me an email through that. Please take the time to jump into our Blackboard course and send me mail this way. And the reason for that is if I go into this Blackboard site, then I know, it's Susie Q from my English 101 24785 class, and she's asking me about XYZ. My other email gets so clogged, I don't know who I'm hearing from when, and a lot of messages get lost. So once again, I'm going to send you all the communication through Blackboard course mail and back at you. That's the way I want you to send me any information or questions or concerns or what have you. Okay, so we've been to the home page. That's where you got that welcome message. The course contents we just went through in terms of the folders and the icons and where the course documents are housed, etc. We just did announcements, and here's another thing I want to show you. Sometimes your assignment is going to be a discussion board post, and clearly you're going to place it in this menu item called discussion boards. And as you can see from your screen, I have already set up the first three that you'll be doing for me. So once I tell you, hey, listen guys, assignment 1.1, your very first assignment for this class is going to be in the form of a discussion board post. Then you know you need to go to discussion boards, and clearly there's a very, very lengthy, detailed description of what your discussion board post should be. This is your prompt. So then you just click on the forum and you click on what I did. And again, I reiterate the discussion board prompt, and then you would just click on reply. What I usually ask you to do is when you click on reply, you're creating a thread. And what I would want you to do each and every time is the subject line should say your name. And that way I can more easily identify, hey, who's replying, which thread is this, and that sort of thing. Now, sometimes with discussion board posts, I will say to you, not only should you do the prompt, you also have to respond in this fashion to one student or another. And per that instruction, do know that whenever it's a discussion board post, that means that all of your fellow students are seeing it. Okay, so know that this is not anonymous. What is anonymous is journals. And this is yet another way that you'll be giving me your assignments. There are 5 basic ways you're going to give me assignments. And discussion board posts and journals are the first 2. Oops, the first one was an upload file like you did your personal contact form. Second one is discussion board posts. And the third way is going to be through journals. And it's pretty essentially the same thing. You'll go to journals and you'll see I have 2 constructed here already, and you click on it and it tells you what the instructions are. The key thing when you do a journal entry for me is it must be done right here. I don't want you to type out an answer or your response and then insert it here as a Word document. It should be typed right in here. And all you have to do for that is go up to the upper left where it says Create Journal Entry. And then after you're done with it, you click Submit. Okay, so that's journals. Now we've been to course mail, you understand that. And here's my grades. Okay, I even use Blackboard for all the grading. So every single one of your assignments for the semester will be listed in my grades. Often you'll even get a description of the assignment so that you can remember what it is. And over on the right hand side, you'll be able to see that each assignment in my grades is given a point value, and you will know from the get-go, oh, look at that. Professor Coco just graded my identity essay. I see I got a 40 out of 50 on it, and I see that I can go back in there and get commentary or get her comments on what she said about the assignment. Okay, so that's my grades. And then there are tools, and this is just basically other auxiliary stuff in Blackboard. You don't have to concern yourself with it. We won't be using it too often. This is library research help, And basically what this is it gets you straight to the library without having to go back outside and access the library any other way. Okay, I am getting to the end of my 15 minutes and I don't want to get just totally cut off. So I'm going to stop right now. Please come to the first class with any other questions you might have about how the Blackboard